let me go and put up a photo of the lovely couple, y'all, because you are not going to believe this story. It's just, how did they end up here? Because when they initially got together, the way they would go on the talk show circuit talking about, I knew within months this was my soulmate. We were going to be together forever. I always wanted to be child free. But when this man who beat his son and caught charges for it hit on me, I said, I'm going to make a baby with you. I feel safe making a baby with you. Like, how did this happen? Right. And then Jeannie on the real, she used to be giving Black women, like low-key giving Black women advice on how to keep a man. She'd be like, you gotta be submissive to your man, baby. Now let's talk about the way that you were rewarded with submission in life, right? Is it with mousetraps as you're trying to retrieve your items from your marital home? Like, is that what it is? Is that a leader that we should be submitting to? I don't know, but let's get into the story. Shout out to In Touch Magazine for this because they got the scoop out. Okay, Layla, I see. And I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about, Layla, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. So basically, in court documents, we're finding out that a couple of months ago, Jeannie was given permission to go ahead and retrieve items from their marital home. And I do remember doing a morning report about this in the past, but basically, Jeezy said, okay, fine, give her 21 days in November, from this date in November, to go ahead and pick up her items from the home, but I do not want for her to come here alone. He said, and I quote, that he doesn't feel safe having Jeannie in his home, given her history of attempting to destroy his career with misleading information. Jeezy would have no way of knowing if Jeannie is planting listening devices or cameras in his home. Jeannie is angry about the party's divorce, and she is revengeful. In addition, the mere presence of Jeannie inside Jeezy's home and personal space after the highly contested nature of the divorce case would absolutely destroy Jeezy's peace and tranquility, as well as invade his privacy. So one thing that I find really, really weird about all of this is that she was granted 21 days in November to go and retrieve her items, but she literally just went there to do that here in January, towards the end of January. So, what happened there with all of this time? Was it the Christmas holidays or what? But was he putting the mouse traps out there because he's got a mouse problem and it took her too long to go get the things? He didn't want the rats to eat them or something? I don't know. So basically, she goes to the garage where all of the items are waiting for her. And she says in the court documents that Jeezy placed her property, which included her Emmy and other trophies, photos, handbags, shoes, and other items in boxes. And the boxes were surrounded by mousetraps, you guys. And he refused to allow her and her security team to access the garage where her items were stored. And she also wanted to enter and everything like that in the home to make sure that nothing was left behind. So I do have to ask you guys, do you think it's fair that Jeannie wanted to access the home? Jeezy obviously didn't want her in there. That the last time she went in there, she downloaded security footage of him walking around the home with like this like rifle or something like that. And he's like, I don't want any of that again. Do not come into my home. She at least came accompanied. But the problem is she came with people from her side, and Jeezy is not happy about that, right? He wanted people from his own side to be able to monitor the situation. And so they said, no, you and these people are not going to be able to come in. Your items are out here in the box. Take it or leave it, essentially. Guys, this divorce stuff just seems like a nightmare. Like, I still don't understand how they went from preaching to people about how to keep a marriage strong after, only months of marriage to this. Like, what happened? Do you guys think that something secretly happened behind the scenes for them to end up in such an ugly place? Or are they both just very, very hot-headed people? Because we already know that Jeezy has problems, right? The man literally beat his child. He beat his child and he got charges for it. It's not like he spanked his child. He whipped his child behind and beat him through a shower door. Like, he's bad. And then Jeannie has spoken on the real before about having an anger problem, right? So I don't know, you guys, like maybe it's just two people with extreme like tempers meeting and just really, really, really wreaking havoc on each other. So basically, let's get back into the story here, you guys. Apparently there was a court order where Jeannie was supposed to be granted permission to walk in and do a final look around, but she refuses. And so Jeannie called the police and everything like that to gather a police report and everything like that. And honestly, you guys, what a freaking mess. I can't. Boss Lady says, I can't stop laughing. This divorce between Jeannie and Jeezy turns out to be a Netflix series because we're still in the group chat and we don't know why. Theo says, an interesting look Jeannie has in that pic. It's giving Left Eye and Unpretty. Let me go ahead and put it back up for you. I was wondering, what it reminded me of. I don't know what they were dressing up for. Do y'all remember what red carpet this was? Because they both seem to be in some kind of like theme attire. I don't know why, but his outfit is kind of low-key giving me Bollywood, and then her outfit is kind of giving figure skater. So I'm not sure where exactly it was that they were headed. The rest of the article says, and I quote, when the police officer informed the house manager that a court order was in fact being violated, the house manager then had to shift gears and create a new barrier to entry. Next, the house manager, at the direction of Jeezy, refused to allow anyone on behalf of Jeannie to enter the home unless they signed an NDA. To note, there is nothing in the court order that states any language regarding a non-disclosure agreement. Jeannie said when she was allowed in the garage, she saw her boxes had been damaged. Jeezy's lawyer previously the rapper in court for the condition in which he maintained her belongings, but that was not true. She says that her items were of immeasurable personal value and left in disarray. Quote, the boxes were wet, with water having soaked through the boxes, damaging personal items. There were mouse traps set in the garage, presumably for mice, which had eaten through some of the boxes. Many of Jeezy's awards were broken and scratched. Well, this is what I said in my initial report on this. I said, Jeannie, you've got Emmy Awards, and they weren't the first things you brought with you when you left that house. Like, how do you leave Emmy Awards with your ex for like almost a year? Like, that would have been the first thing I took. Screw the clothes, right? You're a public figure. People send you free clothes all the time. Clothes go out of style. You wear them once, you can't even wear them again when you're this famous. Take your priceless artifacts, like your hard-earned Emmy Award. I think that was the weirdest thing, right, of it all. And again, she was given 21 days back in November to go and fetch these items, but she did not abide by that. Here she is 2 months later, now complaining that the items are not in pristine condition. Is she being a Karen, or was she right to call the police about the fact that she was not able to go into the home? Listen, if it's in the court order that you're allowed to walk through the home and make sure the last of your items are still there, like nothing remained, like I do think that she was well within reason to go ahead and call them and see if they can negotiate for her to be able to head in there. So listen, at this point, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens next. Like, I do think that she is going to motion or move to perhaps have Jeezy held in contempt of court for violating the court order, which of course we are going to hear about when that eventually comes on. Okay, let's see some more of your comments, you guys. By the way, if you're enjoying this stream, please do make sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Caroline says she needs to accept and move on. He has issues and she knows it. She is messy. Jeezy is an actual abuser. Yup. That's what I think. They're both explosive, right? It really feels like they came down that way. This is why you always see those couples where someone has like a hardcore temper and the other person's like more chill, because the explosive people know that they cannot get with other explosive people. It just ends in fireworks like this. They need people who try to, mellow them out, even though I hate that for my even-keeled people. Has that ever happened to you? Can I ask y'all, be honest. Be honest. If everybody here tells me that you are so easygoing, you are so chill, you never this, you never that, then I'm going to log off immediately. Are you more on the chill side, or are you like an explosive temper? I'll tell y'all, I'm more on the chill side, like dangerously chill side. And I have been in a relationship with one person who had an explosive temper, and I noped out of there. I said, absolutely not. Like, life is chill. Life is that. Like, why are you so hostile all the time? Like, I don't understand how people are like that. Ugh. Anyway, Zendile, are you South African? Because this is giving the South African your name, Zendile. I love it. Jeannie thought he'd act differently because she's not black. She got the same black man all his exes got. Jeezy's always been hell on wheels. And I do think that that's what happened. For those of you who were like not really paying attention to their relationship, because they're not like major celebrities or anything like that, but there were a lot of really, really good informative videos made here on YouTube by Black content creators about like the dog whistles that the two of them were throwing out against Black women when they got together, particularly Jeannie, because she did have the talk show platform. Like, so now watching all of that back in hindsight, when she's talking about like, if you want to keep a man, you got to be submissive. Like, girl, bye. It is 2024, right? 2025 now. But like what she was saying, it was back in, it was still modern times. Like, we got to stop with this women need to be submissive nonsense. Come on, y'all. Okay. Come on.